Hello everyone, I'm your host Pensyfan 19 and welcome to the November 2025 Pensyfan Periodical. This is the monthly news series which covers most of the major railroading headlines from around the world, as well as my opinions on them. We have a lot of articles to go over today, so with that in mind, let's get rolling. Up first, we have quite a few smaller stories combined into one, as a whopping 6 different railroads have released a series of US semi-quincentennial or 250th anniversary and Veterans Day liveries, which all take various approaches of integrating the American flag onto the car body. Going in chronological order for the month, we're starting off with one of the most unexpected entries, specifically with New Jersey Transit's River Line being chosen to represent America's 250th instead of an existing heavy rail locomotive. Since NJT technically defines the River Line as a light rail service, this makes the River Line the first light rail to make an America 250th wrap of sorts, with this wrap featuring an American flag in between 2 murals of George Washington and what could be Trenton, as this train set now joins one of many wrap Stadler GTW DMUs on the hybrid rail system. Our next wrap goes down to the nation's capital to celebrate Veterans Day on a few different forms of transit, as WMATA showcased their variation of the Stars and Stripes on a 7000 series railcar, in addition to a bus and a van. This marks one of a handful of times that WMATA created wraps for Veterans Day, with this year featuring more diagonal blue stripes on the left and a solid blue background on the right, with the stripes taking up the entirety of the bus and the van designs. Moving right back up to the greater NYC region, we have another wrap representing Veterans Day, this time from Metro North on P32AC number 216, with an incredibly well detailed American flag on the front as well as the sunset reflected in the ocean waves on the rear half, complete with various patches that highlight the different branches of the military. Although some rail fans question if AI was used to enhance some of the patches in both designs on the engine, I personally feel that this engine is one of the most well-detailed liveries out there, based on the visibility of the stitching on the American flag, as well as the small individual waves that can be seen in the ocean. After that, we move from a well-known commuter railroad to a well-known excursion railroad, as the Reading and Northern created their own America 250th livery by placing a diagonal blue line across the red and white stripes on ST4-2 number 1776, formerly number 3061. This iconic engine was almost immediately placed into service with this new livery, as it was seen leading a short office car special for the Class 2 on November 20th, in addition to 3 excursion trips out of Jim Thorpe on the following day. Speaking of small freight railroads in Pennsylvania, the Buffalo and Pittsburgh Railroad is the next railroad to offer an America 250th livery, featuring a dark blue backdrop with a white Liberty Bell on the side of C44-9W number 4434. Although this is one of 4 America 250th liveries that Genesee and Wyoming subsidiary railroads have made, this is the first one that departs from the previous design of a light blue backdrop and yellow front nose, as most rail fans seem to prefer the BMP's dark blue background when compared to the aforementioned 3 light blue liveries. Lastly, we have one of the smallest railroads of the 6 choosing one of the most unlikely locomotives to be represented, specifically Minnesota Commercial Short Line choosing a B36-7 and renumbered it to 76, as it sports a diagonal blue line going across a white stripe between 2 red stripes. Seeing that an American holiday was held last month, what better way to prepare for one of America's largest anniversaries than to also celebrate Veterans Day in the process, as all 6 liveries make great additions to the ever-growing list of patriotic liveries to be released this year. Speaking of which, here's some interesting news. MBTA converted one of their MBB OCS cars into a theater car. Norfolk Southern started testing their AC to AC conversion rebuild class called the AC44CM. The Lake State Railway has purchased EMD SC70ACE T4s. The Fort Wayne Historic Society could convert a Bud RDC into an M497 Black Beetle jet engine rebuild. The New York and Lake Erie Railroad hosted a tribute train for John Candy, based on the railroad's appearance in the movie Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. The Six Flags Capital Railway has recently shut down, in addition to the rest of Six Flags America. Alex Ovechkin is the first hockey player to score over 900 goals in a single career. Brightline has made an appearance at World Travel Market London. James May released a series of HO Gauge James Gin wagons. Network Rail has deployed a Land Rover High Railer to fight against leaves on the tracks. Robel has released their raw spec inspection platform. LTG Cargo is using robot dogs to inspect freight trains. Cooler G has released their TG4M hydrogen-powered shunter. The Toshiba HDB 800 hybrid locomotive program has been cancelled. Siemens won the Swiss Federal Railway's bi-level EMU contract instead of Stadler. And Alstom has cancelled their hydrogen locomotive program due to lack of funds from the French government, despite being the pioneers of the technology with the Alstom Islands almost a decade ago. Now here's the follow-up news section for articles covering stories from previous episodes. Santa Fe 2926 is to make mainline excursions in 2026. Some Talgo Avril train sets have returned to revenue service. The EMR Class 810 is to enter service in December. The DLR B23 class has been temporarily withdrawn due to mechanical issues. CRRC Changchun's hydrogen-powered tourist tram has entered service in addition to the CRRC DDEMU2 on westbound and also the Talgo 230s on DSB. Driverless Siemens Vectron tests have commenced in the Netherlands. Progress Rail has constructed their battery electric locomotive for Fortescue Metals. The LA Dodgers have won the World Series for the second year in a row. Construction has started for a new passenger rail line to Nuevo Laredo. SEPTA is to purchase 20 former Exo Comic cars as part of a $220 million infrastructure deal. And Illinois passed state funding that not only saves CTA from various service cuts, but also included funding for more intercity rail service in the state. In other news, the Amtrak San Joaquins has been renamed to the Gold Runner. The Nelson and Fort Shepherd Railway is to cancel holiday excursion service due to tariffs. The TTC Finch West Light Rail line is to open on December 7th. Malaysia is to restore service to Thailand via the Pasir to Rantau Panjang line. A new rail tunnel is to be constructed between Bulgaria and North Macedonia. Groningen has cancelled their hydrogen-powered MUs in favor of battery-powered ones, while the same country allowed their provinces to create their own public transit agencies. CER Cargo has bought Weiner Lokobanen Cargo. SNCF has named John Castex as their new CEO. Network Rail opened the Gresley Institute in Doncaster Works. The US Mint has retired the penny. Ukrainian Railways has purchased the Alstom Trax hauler, while PKP purchased the Alstom Caradia Max. Stadler is to produce narrow gauge locomotives for 4 different railways. NS has purchased Stadler Flirt Flex CMUs, while NextRail has purchased Stadler Euro 9000 electric engines. Kiwi Rail ordered hybrid battery electric diesel shunters. Skoda is to provide new EMUs for Stockholm's commuter railway. Augsburg Tram ordered an MPV Ventus NV rail grinder. Skoda 4City Plus 52T trams have started service in Prague, while Skoda 4City Plus 48 trams have started service for Brandenburg an der Havel. Alstom Citadis trams have started service for Strasbourg, France. Ural ES105 dual-mode MUs have started service for Russian railways. The Schalke STS 1380D has entered service, thus becoming the heaviest narrow-gauge engine in current service. Hydrogen-powered engines have entered service on the Antofagasta Railway in Chile. CD retired their Skoda 109E electric engines. Muni has retired their Ansaldo Breda LRVs. The Railway Museum of British Columbia restored BCER Steeple Cab number 960. Adirondack Railroad has acquired an Alco FA2. The TVRM has repainted their Frisco VL1000M. Caltrain is to host their annual holiday train, while Christmas lights have been placed on Metro North P32, M8 sets, and a Long Island Railroad M9 set. And Norfolk Southern released 2 new OCS SD70s that have a maroon front that fades to black. Also, happy 30th anniversary to CN's privatization, happy 30th anniversary to West Coast Express, and happy 15th anniversary to Unstoppable. After all that, it is now time for this month's Meme of the Month. This month's Meme of the Month is E2 versus Mercure. And now, the top story of the November 2025 Pensyfan Periodical is REM Phase 2 is now open! Critically acclaimed by transit enthusiasts as one of the greatest transit projects of all time, the Rousseau Express de Métropolitain opened their long-awaited Phase 2 extension, which connects Montreal Central Station with Deux Montages, thus converting the entirety of the former Exo Deux Montages commuter rail branch into a frequent automated metro line. Technically, REM has been open since 2023, with service to just 5 stations from Brossard to Montreal Central, but Phase 2, or Segment A4, was much more anticipated by transit enthusiasts and Montrealers alike, as A4 is the largest of the 4 phases of the system's opening, with a total of 14 brand new stations included in A4, one of which including a transfer station to a newly relocated Mascouche line offered by EXO Commuter Rail at Côte de Liesse. Also, apologies for any French mispronunciations. But there's still some work to be done for this system, as Phase 3 or A3 branch is scheduled to go to Anse-à-Lourmes sometime in 2026, and Phase 4 or A2 branch is scheduled to go to Montreal Trudeau Airport sometime in 2027, as the entirety of the REM network is to be open within less than 2 years from when A4 was opened. Although all 4 sections saw various degrees of construction for the past few years, A4 undoubtedly saw the largest change in appearance, as small side platforms on a half single-tracked line were replaced with high-level rectangular complexes, which were placed along a reconstructed fully double-tracked grade-separated right-of-way with brand new tracks and ballast. Although this resulted in the former commuter rail branch to see no service for the few years of construction, this resulted in exponentially higher service levels, as frequencies on the line increased from every 15 to 60 minutes to every 5 to 10 minutes. The incredible success of the existing REM service has spurred discussion of other REM lines around Montreal, such as REM de l'Est and Tassereau REM, as the modern technology and frequent service provided by the REM serves as a golden standard of frequent and reliable new rapid transit service for the rest of North America to follow. Thank you everyone for watching this month's episode of the Pensyfan Periodical. There have been a lot of rail news headlines for the month, and it will be very interesting to see what the future has in store for all of these articles. Thank you again for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Have a good day.